It's 6 p.m. time for the news bulletin on Channel 2. I am Bethha, and starting off with the main headlines of the day. President Sisi addresses the nation on the 23rd of July Revolution anniversary. Prime Minister Madbouli inspects the construction site of the nuclear plant in Dab'a. "21 Palestinians killed in Israeli bombardment in Gaza." Welcome back. The news in full. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi on Wednesday addressed the nation on the 73rd anniversary of July Revolution. The president said that Egyptians wrote a bright chapter in the history of the nation on 23rd of July 1952, adding that the event marked a turning point in the struggle against foreign occupation, asserting the values of dignity and full independence. The head of the state underscored the encouraging wide impact of the July Revolution upon liberation drives across the Arab and African regions. President Sisi said that Egyptians are taking inspiration from this occasion to eliminate the drive to build a new republic, since it was launched in 2014 based on a vision to establish a modern state. The president said that during the previous years, the Egyptian state modernized its army and defeated terrorism nationwide. In addition, the president said that Egypt witnessed a comprehensive, unprecedented urban and infrastructure development. In a tweet on his social media account, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi said the honorable drive to boost Egypt's standing on regional and international fronts will continue. The president said that at the anniversary of July Revolution, the country is recalling the historically everlasting Egyptian aspirations for development, dignity, and independence. The head of state also added that the occasion also cherishes the memory of heroes who strongly believed in the Egyptians' rights for progress and liberation. First Lady Mrs. Intisar el-Sisi asserted that the anniversary of July 23rd Revolution is a significant event that influenced our past and encourages working for the nation's present and future. Mrs. Intisar greeted the Egyptian people on the occasion of the 73rd anniversary of July Revolution on her social media account. She wrote that the 23rd of July Revolution in 1952 was a turning point in Egypt's history, which reflected the strong will of the Egyptians in achieving justice and independence. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli on Wednesday inspected the construction site of the Dab'a nuclear plant and announced its operation will start at second half of 2028. Following this inspection tour, Madbouli held a press conference at which he affirmed the state's keenness on implementing the ongoing energy projects according to schedule. Madbouli illustrated that the Dab'a project's implementation began in December 2017 in order to achieve the nation's aspiration to possess its own resources for safe and sustainable electric power generation. He further added that the project reflects deep and strong relations binding Egypt and Russia and keenness on enhancing joint cooperation in various domains. The premier was accompanied by the ministers of electricity and finance, as well as the chairman of Nuclear Plants Authority during his tour. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Immigration Badr Abdulati hailed brotherly relations between Egypt and Niger, which witnessed a remarkable impetus in the recent period. The remarks were made on Wednesday as the top diplomat opened the first Egypt-Niger Business Forum in Niamey. Abdulati arrived in Niger, the third leg of the West African tour that began on Monday with the aim of boosting bilateral cooperation and intensive coordination with fellow African countries. The tour included Nigeria and Burkina Faso and will take him also to Mali and Senegal. The top diplomat is accompanied by businessmen, executives, and representatives of leading Egyptian companies, both from public and private sectors, in order to strengthen economic cooperation, trade, and investment with African countries in different fields. Separately, Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati met with Niger's Foreign Minister Bakari Yao Sangari in Niamey and stressed the need to build on the outcome of Sangari's last visit to Cairo in October 2024, which marked an important milestone in bilateral relations. Foreign Minister Sangari expressed his country's appreciation to continuous Egyptian support and to active Egyptian engagement in supporting continental causes. The United Kingdom and Egypt will launch a strategic partnership during a visit to Cairo by British Prime Minister Keir Starmer next autumn. The British Prime Minister's office said in a statement released on Tuesday that the strategic partnership aims to achieve new mutual growth opportunities, strengthen economic ties in the pursuit of greater prosperity and security of citizens in both countries. The statement said that during Starmer's visit, the UK Premier and President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi will co-chair an investment conference that will be joined by major British and Egyptian companies. The statement added that the United Kingdom and Egypt share deep and historic ties in various domains, varying from climate change and international security to trade and tourism. The two countries are looking forward to enhance their cooperation further based on deeply rooted people-to-people and cultural ties. In the Gaza Strip, health officials said at least 21 were killed in Israeli bombardment in Gaza City, as well as in northern parts of the Palestinian enclave late Tuesday and early Wednesday. Details follow.
Medical sources in Gaza Strip said 7 Palestinians were killed, and United Nations Agency Chief Tedros Adhanom accused the troops of entering its staff residence and forcing women and children to evacuate as they handcuffed, stripped and integrated male staff at gunpoint. Israeli occupation forces have expanded ground operations in central Gaza city of Deir al-Balah following intense shelling of the area on Monday. The civil killed at least 13 people and wounded more than 50. Most of Gaza's population has been displaced at least once during the war, and the Al-Shati camp on the Mediterranean coast hosts thousands of people displaced from the north in tents and makeshift shelters. Reports of the latest death.
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres told International Security Council that the horror show in Gaza is unprecedented in modern history. He was speaking as the Council urged the 193 United Nations member nations to use all possible means to settle disputes peacefully. In urging greater efforts to pursue global peace, Guterres said, "We see an utter disregard for international law, citing starvation in Gaza as Israel denies the United Nations the space and safety to deliver aid and save Palestinian lives." Ukrainian and Russian officials are expected to meet in Istanbul on Wednesday for a third round of peace talks, their first meeting in more than 7 weeks amid U.S. pressure to reach a ceasefire. The two sides met in May and June but failed to agree an end to the nearly 3.5-year war. The Kremlin has earlier cautioned not to expect any breakthroughs as the two sides have widely different positions for ending the conflict. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said that he hoped the two sides would discuss the release of prisoners and prepare a meeting between himself and Russian leader Vladimir Putin. Moscow said that a lot of work is needed before even discussions can take place about possible talks between Putin and Zelensky, who last met in 2019. Egypt's bourse closed higher today amid purchases by local investors and corporations against sell-offs by Arab and foreign investors and corporations. The market capital of listed companies added 13 billion Egyptian pounds, crossing 2.4 trillion pounds at the end of an average transactions of 77.1 billion. The benchmark index EGX 30 rose 0.95% above the 34.125 point mark. The equal weighted indices EGX 70 and EGX 100 climbed 0.2 and 0.3 respectively. Oil prices fell for a fourth session today amid worries about reduced global economic activity going forward. U.S. crude fell 0.7% to $64.48 a barrel, while London Brent crude dropped the same amount to $68.11 per barrel. Oil also weakened on growing worries over softening demand as the August 1st U.S. tariff deadline drew closer. World champion Spain will aim to secure a first ever win against Germany in the Women Euro 2025 semi-final today, though the Spaniards insist reaching their first European Championship final matters more than settling all scores. Spain League side Al-Ahli confirmed that it will compete in the 2025-2026 Saudi Super Cup scheduled to be held in Hong Kong from August 19 to 23. Al-Ahli will be replacing Al-Hilal. Dear viewers, by that we come to the end of our news bulletin. Thanks for watching.